What are we doing wrong? U.S. police killed a record number of people in 2022. Nearly 3 years after the police killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis sparked worldwide protests demanding far-reaching reforms to stop law enforcement agents from perpetrating violence against the communities they're meant to protect. New data shows 2022 was the deadliest year on record for people who had police encounters in the United States. At least 1,176 people were killed by police this past year in America. Keep in mind, the number of people killed by police in a lot of European countries is like 3 per year, or sometimes 7 per year. In the case of Iceland, it's 0. Ever. Like Iceland's cops have like never killed someone since they started keeping those records in like the 70s. 0 ever. Now, I get Iceland is far smaller than the United States, but still, even so, it's not 0 smaller. However, this number, 1,176, is wrong. I repeat, if you see this number anywhere, it is wrong. And Common Dreams is smart enough to know it's wrong. And where did Common Dreams find out it's wrong? From a tweet by this fella named Lee Camp. Yes. For one of these rare moments, I get to brag. Common Dreams actually gets the number right because this journalist at Common Dreams saw my tweet about how the number's wrong. My tweet said, according to the Lancet Medical Journal, the number of Americans killed by police is actually double the official number every year. So that means 2022 saw closer to 2,400 murders by U.S. police. That's 6.4 killings a day. The way Common Dreams phrased it, they say, as researchers showed in a study published in the Lancet last year or 2 years ago, about half of the killings by law enforcement agents go unreported. They go unreported as police killings. They go reported as a death, but not a police killing. So the true number of people killed by police last year may be double the figure reported by mapping police violence. Not maybe, is. It's actually, I think the Lancet shows it's actually slightly over double, usually. Now, you can't know for sure because, as we're saying, these are not reported as police deaths. These are people who were killed by police. Let's say they were tased to death, which happens fairly often. Let's say they were strangled to death, like in the George Floyd case, except the reason we know what happened to George Floyd is because we watched it on a video. Now, if there'd been no video there, if that had happened in a dark alley, they very well might have said, we approached this man who was looking violent and mean, and when we told him to put his hands behind his back, he had a heart attack. And then the medical coroner goes, oh, yeah, he had a heart attack. And they write down heart attack, and it doesn't go down as a police killing. That's why this number is actually double. Thank God Common Dreams had this guy here, Lee. I don't know whether it's pronounced Comp or Camp. But thank goodness they noticed that tweet by that fella. Otherwise, I would not have known that it's actually double. Hey, everybody, join me at rumble.com/Lee Camp. That's where we're going to continue this stream. So, but they continue to break it down. 32% of the cases documented by mapping police violence, the victim was fleeing the police before they were killed. I don't know why I stressed the word. I don't know why I stressed the word before. Of course, they were fleeing the police before they were. If they were fleeing the police after they were killed, that's goddamn impressive. I mean, we should be really having some award shows or something for these folks if they're fleeing the police after they were killed. Anyway, I just stressed the wrong word. These were police. The victim, in 32% of the time, the victim was fleeing the police before they were killed. There we go. Stress the correct word. That's always important, to stress the correct word. It's always important to stress the correct word. So, legal experts say police are almost always unjustified in shooting people when they are running away from law enforcement, particularly after being suspected for committing nonviolent crimes. Now, this is an important point. Yes, they are always unjustified in shooting and killing someone when they are running away from cops because you are not defending yourself. The only time that a cop should ever kill someone is if the guy is literally about to kill him. And if a guy is running away, he's not about to kill you. Okay? So they are never justified in killing someone running away. And yet 32%, almost a third of every time they murder someone, the person is running from them. And I know you may not like that the person might get away. You might also be a very heavy-set cop, unable to keep up with a quick guy, a young, thin dude, a guy who's been training in the off-season, a guy who didn't have the pastry this morning. You might not be able to keep up, and it makes you angry, and you're staring down at your spare tire as you're chugging along. Stop! Freeze! And it makes you angry, and so you're like, I'm going to win the game, and you shoot them. And that's what it is. It is these cops getting furious. Often it's roid rage. 25% of cops in urban areas are thought to be exploiting steroids. I guess exploiting in the right case, right term, but addicted to steroids, overdoing the steroids, a bit excessive on the steroid front, which causes roid rage. Which, if you look at the symptoms of roid rage, that's the word I'm looking for. If you're looking for the symptom, if you look at the symptoms of roid rage, it is quick to anger, poor decision making, violent, aggressive, all the things that are police brutality and would cause a cop to kill someone they shouldn't kill. Anyway, so 30 of these are as a person's running away, cops killing them. Only 31% of police killings took place after an alleged violent crime. So only a third of the killings are even after something violent. That means, now, I could sit here and argue all day on how even someone being arrested for a violent crime should not be murdered. But even if you put that third away and ignore it for a second, that means 2/3 are after events that were not violent. Like, could you imagine that? That means they came up to like a car and they said you were speeding, or they saw someone in an alley and they said freeze, and they fucking murdered the guy or the woman. It's unbelievable. So 31% were after a violent crime. 46% did not involve people who had been accused of violence. 9% took place during mental health or welfare checks. Hey, come check on the welfare of this guy. Oh, sorry, we killed him. Well, how's his welfare now? I'm thinking worse. I'm thinking less good on the... Yeah, how's his mental health check after you've murdered him? Probably not good. 8% involved traffic violations. 18% involved allegations of nonviolent offenses. Like, that guy took my fucking John Tesh CD. 11% involved no alleged offense. Jesus Christ. That means if you take the mental health welfare checks that are murdered and the ones that involve no offense at all, no, not even an alleged offense, not even a fake offense, you have 20% of all police killings are either a welfare check or nothing. No offense, not even an alleged offense. Also, the fact that 8% are traffic violations, and I'm sure a large percentage are other tiny violations like loitering, and we were suspicious, so we grabbed the guy and frisked him and all that shit. What was I? Lost my train of thought. But I was going to say the 8%. Oh, involved traffic violations and other small to nothing crimes. I mean, loitering shouldn't even be a crime, but most of them should not be crimes. But the fact that those end up in a police murdering someone, gets to another point, which I've said many times, which is that the police should not be doing these things. There's no reason that guys with guns, generally speaking, idiots with guns, should be in charge of telling you were driving too fast. We should have speed control people who don't have guns and are unconnected to the police. We should have, if we really decide as a society, we have to stop this scourge of loitering. We have to stop this pandemic of this epidemic of people standing still. We have to stop this endless fucking tidal wave of just zombie-like standing still. If we decided that was something that had to be stopped in our society, really got together, had a whole country meeting and said, we have got to stop this standing around thing. Even if that were the case, that everyone agreed, you don't need cops doing that. You could have loitering patrols that don't have guns, don't have tasers, just have a little ticket. Say, you've been loitering. And if you are sitting there right now going, no, I think the loitering people that deal with loitering should have guns, you are a maniac. A maniac. And you may go, well, what if while they're giving the loitering guy a ticket, they find out that he also has drugs? Well, then that loitering patrol can call the drug police, who also shouldn't have guns. You get my point.